most of the problems have to do with what I think is like in living memory of like the second generation of this neighborhood. You know, I'm not talking about like the real historic Lower East Side tenement museum and what was going on in the 19th century and all that. That's fascinating. But I'm talking about people's living history. You know, which essentially, usually, a client will come to me and say, well, you know, I moved into into East Fifth Street when it was a dump. Landlord was desperate to get somebody in here. That's how come he rented me this storefront. But now, you know, obviously it's much different, and now he's trying to get me out, and he moved in somebody next door, and he moved out somebody who was paying $300 a month, and now the person in there is paying $3,000 a month. So during that time, like you guys know better than me, the 70s, the 80s, when this place was like really like Dodge City or whatever.
Drug town.
A lot of the landlords completely failed. And their buildings went into tax foreclosure, and then the city became the landlord. When the city owns the building, that's called an in-rem building. They had thousands of these in-rem properties, right? And it was run by HPD. Now, the worst landlord in the world is HPD. Then you say, oh yeah, and the strange part about it was that there were code violations all over the building, and so you'd call HPD to go and get an inspection to do a violation on themselves. It's like the strangest thing in the world. Now we're going into kind of like the third generation of the development of this neighborhood, which is that, okay, the property is now so valuable. I mean, well, actually, when you watch national TV now, you would think that real property in New York is the only valuable real property in the whole United States.
That's true.
Right? It seems like everybody, you know, you heard about these upside-down mortgages where people owe more than their house is worth or whatever. So you see this all over the United States, but not in Manhattan. In Queens, you see it a lot. The foreclosure is highest in Queens than in all of New York State.
Maybe not yet.
But not here yet. That's a good way of putting it, because I think that you are seeing a pressure on the real estate market right now in Manhattan, but it's not really.
And all those shows, like that doesn't help it, you know. Like.
Why not?
Well, it makes it more valuable. People want to be here. They think it's cool.
That's only because everybody in Law and Order looks a little prettier than the real. Like I never met district attorneys with nice angles. But it's probably right. You know, there was Law and Order, which you can see being filmed all the time here around the court system. I've been a civil trial lawyer for like 10 years already. Then you've got they had a show called 100 Center. Right?
Oh yeah.
And I always thought that was funny because I always thought, I wonder if they'll ever make a show called 111 Center. It's a housing court. You know?
Yeah,
We've lived it. That's our soap opera.